Hello stars, my name is Aster. If you do not know me, I am currently on the journey to try and become a published author. The book I'm hoping will be my debut novel is currently in the editing process. Actually, it's out of my hands now. I finished draft 4 last week, down to like the fine details, to the typography of it. And I gave it to my editor and I told myself I wasn't going to do any more edits on it. That novel, it's a cozy fantasy about this girl from Earth who goes to this new world. If you want to hear more about that story, there's a playlist on my account called Project New World. It has all the videos related to that series there. For now, I'm back in the awkward stage where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. If you guys came from my shorts, then you have heard of 2 other projects. One, Something About the Sea. There's also a playlist for that. That's the project I do all the writing vlogs for in my shorts. So I already do that twice a day. I'm not gonna work on doing that for one of these videos until I get to a really tense part in it and I'm like really invested in it. The other project you know is Project Princess, which I've been reading you guys a segment from that novel once a day. And the first draft is technically done and I'm tempted to do the second draft and to start that, but it's a mess. Like, it really needs to be rewritten. I didn't know where I wanted the story to go when I started it. That was the first novel I ever finished and it's been like 2 years. And so my writing's improved a lot, and while reading segments from it, I can tell that it's bad. I think the actual story has a lot of potential. I feel like a lot of people could like that kind of story, but it's just going to take a lot of time to really fix, if not just rewriting it entirely. For now though, I think I want to do just something a little bit more low-key, not have as much pressure as I usually do when writing my novel. And I don't feel like there's too much pressure. I mean, I love what I'm doing. I'm writing stories I want to read. I'm writing stories that I'm actually passionate about. So that's not my issue. My issue is that I want to just write, just for the sake of it, not having to worry about anyone else seeing it, so not having to worry about the details, which I am notoriously bad at, if you've seen any of my editing vlogs. So with that in mind, this is Argyle. My editor crocheted him for me. Actually, she just crocheted him and I said I liked him and she wanted to make a new one, so she gave him to me. I'm just saying that because it's gonna pop up in the back of this video a lot. But with that in mind, I thought maybe I could work on my nonsense project. And I have introduced my nonsense project on here before. I did a little writing vlog, again, while I was in between drafts. So this nonsense project is very different from what I usually write, and I think that's why I have it as just a nonsense project. It's different, it's completely new territory, and I don't expect it to actually be good. So this is just for me, because this is the kind of book I like to read, but it's not typically what I like to write. It is a dark romance book. College students? How do I say that better? Yeah, it's inspired by Legacy of Gods because I think that's one of my favorite dark romance series. But one thing I don't like about Legacy of Gods is that all the girls are non-experienced. How do I say that? So I kind of just wanted to make my own version of it. So college, curvy main character, artsy girl, mixed with this kind of like flirty, cold boxer guy. I haven't decided what he's studying yet, so I don't know what he's like. Sorry, my dog landed on the bed and he can't jump up because I have a very high bed frame. But yeah, I have done no planning for this. I only like kind of knew what my main female character was like. Her name's Aurora, by the way, or Rora for short. But I had no idea what my male main character was like. So Malachi, or Kai for short. So I was just kind of going with the flow, writing what felt right, but I have like no ideas for even plot or anything because I write fantasy. So it's usually like battles and enemies, but this is romance, dark romance, so I can still add like enemies, but it's still gonna be different. But yeah, it's nonsense and it's fun and it's easy. and I can tell you guys everything about it because I don't plan to publish this. I might publish a dark romance one day, but this will not be that book. So I can tell you everything that's happening in it. I think this will actually also be really good practice because if you've seen some of my other vlogs, I get very embarrassed when I write romance. Like, my cozy fantasy is slow burn, and there was one scene in it that I'm just like, oh my god, I got so embarrassed for it, and I need my editor to go and make it better because I can't think straight when I read that. Just knowing that I wrote it. And so dark romance is typically a bit more, you know. So I feel like it'll be good practice, and it's just for me, so I don't have to be embarrassed thinking that other people will read it. There's no expectations to this one, even for myself. I have no expectations for this book. I'm on chapter 2, 26 minutes to read, 6.9 thousand words. So we're still very early on in this book. Okay, I just read the end of chapter 1 and all of what I have so far for chapter 2 just to catch myself up on this because it's been a while since I've written this project. Basically, her professor kept her after class, said some things that kind of pissed her off. So when her friends were like, hey, yeah, we got this invite to an event at the other college, do you want to go? Or they kind of told her she was going. She was like, okay, fine, one match. I'll go for one event. It ended up being a boxing match, but she is extremely uncomfortable with violence. So she had a panic attack. She ran out of the room, met the male main character, Malachi. Stuff happened and she ran away. The next day, chapter 2, he shows up at her college, at the building that she's leaving from, and basically ends up forcing a car ride on her, and she's like, if I don't do this, he's gonna go to the dorms and she's basically thinking he's going to kill her friends because they got an invite to a private boxing match when they're from the other university that is not invited. And so he's like, how the hell did you do that? So she's like, I need to go have this ride with him, otherwise he's gonna go to the dorms and hurt my friends. And so that's where we stopped. And I think I stopped here because I had no idea what I wanted to happen during this car ride. I knew I wanted something to happen, but I wasn't sure what. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start writing and we're gonna see how it goes. And that's what I do with this book, is just I write and I go with the flow of this story because I have no idea what's going to happen. So the point is that there's no planning. It's supposed to be easy like that. So let's get this started. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I'm kind of nervous. What's gonna happen? Okay, I wrote a little bit. I'm kind of loving this. I didn't know this was gonna happen, but I love it. I love that I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like I'm reading it as I'm writing it. But the drive happened. All of that. He was like, he pulled out of the parking lot, got onto the highway, driving like 80 over the speed limit. And she was just like, where are we going? He said, oh, nowhere in particular. And she just instinctively was like, she's like, really? I figured you were late for something important with how you're driving. And he grinned, he chuckled. He was like, does it bother you? He calls her little bird. So he's like, does it bother you, little bird? I thought you liked going fast considering how quickly you left the other day. She's like, that's different. It's like, different how? She was like, because it just was. Then he started speeding more, completely freaking her out because she's like, there's no way we're gonna see the car in front of us. We are going to crash, spin off this road and die. So she screamed, she's like, because you're dangerous. She squeezed her eyes shut so she wouldn't see. She thought she was gonna die, so she's like, she squeezed her eyes shut so she wouldn't see the moment she died. And his response came a moment later. He was like, I'm dangerous? You have no idea. And they pulled up to this mansion. He slowed down, got off the highway, got onto a back street, and pulled up to this secluded mansion. The last paragraph, I guess, that I wrote being hidden in total seclusion and covered in thick Evergreen trees, the mansion was dark as night, larger than my family's main estate. It didn't look like a mansion. It looked like an incarnation of the underworld made into a building, like the people who entered that house would never walk out. And then I'm gonna leave the next section for tonight because I feel like that's gonna be a vibe to write at night. So I will see you guys then. So far, let me tell you a little bit more about like this actual story, or about the characters, what I know about the characters. So there's the two colleges, Elite Figure, or EF, which is what Aurora goes to. And then there's Monarch's Rule, or MR, which is what Malachi goes, where Malachi goes. They don't typically talk to each other. EF, Elite Figure, is funded by a lot of old money, and that's where her family comes from. She's alumni of the school, so she kind of had to go there. Like, she wasn't crazy about going to that college, but she felt like she needed to. MR, Monarch's Rule, nothing's confirmed, but there are a lot of stories about it having ties to the underworld, and that's how it has such good funding, even though it's like not funded by any of the old money in England, which is where they are. I for some reason made them in England because I felt like it. I also really like English accents. But I'm not writing in an accent. Like, I write normally, but I'll spell like mum with a U instead of an O. Aurora comes from old money. She's, like I said, alumni from the school, so she's used to the estates. But she is this artsy girl, loves designing clothing, and she has these two best friends that she dorms with, and that's basically it. She has a bit of anxiety because I kind of like that in a main character. I have a bit of anxiety, so it feels more relatable to me. And yeah, bigger main character, because you don't typically see that in dark romance, and I want to see that. I want to see a curvy main character as the female lead in a dark romance. Like, hello. And Malachi, I really don't know anything about him. Like, I'm going into this like I'm Aurora. Most of this is in her point of view. So I do plan to do his point of view. I do, because most romances in general have dual point of view, and I need to have more practice writing a male point of view. So I would like to do his point of view as well, probably for chapter 3. I don't know much about him. I know that he boxes, and that's gonna be a problem, obviously, because she's really not good with violence. But we'll figure that out together, because when I write this, I do plan to do vlogs for it, so you will see more of this story. But it is fun, actually. The writing in this is a lot better than I thought it was. Like, the voice is really good, and I'm not too bad with the descriptions. The descriptions are pretty good. Either way, I will see you guys tonight to do a little bit more writing. I'm a little later than I intended. It's not that night, it's the next day. It's Friday evening, and it's time for me to write some more. I got invested in the story I was reading last night, so I didn't end up doing that because I worked yesterday. I worked today, and I work tomorrow too, but like, it's with the people I like to work with, so I'm not too stressed about it. Yeah, so this thing popped up about the mansion, and I didn't know it was gonna be there, but it's there. So now I'm going to see what happens inside. I really have no idea where this is going. Like, it astonishes me how little I know, and that it's still going. How can I not know what's gonna happen in the next sentence and still somehow end up 3 paragraphs later? But yeah, I'll write a bit and we'll see how it goes. To be honest, I didn't think I was crazy about where that was going. I stuck with it because, you know, I didn't want to go back and erase it and try and rewrite it, because then I'd get stuck. So I just went with it. And I actually kind of really like what's happening. So, okay. I'm like embarrassed to tell you this, but it's fine. We're friends here, right? So got into the house. They got into the mansion. And he closed her inside and leaned up against the door and was like, welcome to your new cage. Because I think I already said this, but he calls her Little Bird. I don't really know why. It just happened. He's like, welcome to your new cage, Little Bird. And so, you know, back and forth. She's being like, you can't keep me here. I'm not actually going to stay here. You can't expect that. She's like, I got classes to go to, you know, school. So do you. You're in college. And so finally he was like, you want freedom? Then run. But if I find you before the sun sets, I think you know where this is going. Yeah. Basically, he just told her to go run and hide in his mansion. He's like, if I find you before the sun sets, which is soon because this is already after her class. So this is like, yeah, he's like, if I find you before the sun sets, you're mine. I can do whatever I want with you. If you manage to hide and I don't catch you before the sun sets, then you're free. I'll drop you back off on your dorms like nothing ever happened. I'm gonna leave the rest of that for another day because I'm embarrassed. And just want to wait till I feel more like writing that scene because that's gonna be an intense scene. But yeah, I will hold off on writing that. Hopefully I write it tomorrow. I kind of love this though. It totally switched up vibes, but it will go back to my artsy, anxious, kind of violent vibes that it started with, but I want this mansion to be like a hideaway. Things change when they're there. For better or for worse, I don't know yet, but we'll see. I never write books without planning it. So having a book actually come out from just writing based on the last sentence, it's kind of insane. I guess I should also give you guys an update on like word count and how long it takes to read it, because I haven't done that since I started this vlog, since I actually made any edits. But 8.4 words, 31 minutes to read. I think I got 2K in since I've started this video, which is crazy. I didn't think I got that much in. I thought I got maybe a little bit over 1K. So I don't have a word count goal for this. By the way, I'm literally just writing until the story feels like it's finished, you know? I didn't particularly feel like writing tonight, but this video needs to be up tomorrow, so I felt like I could give you guys a little bit more before the end of this video. So I am going to write like right up until that moment is starting. I feel like you guys know what I mean by that moment. So he kind of set it off at the end of that, being like, you have 10 minutes, little bird, run. So now basically I just gotta follow her to wherever she ends up and until he finds her. So let's start this. Let's see how this goes. Okay. We're done for the night. I am right there. He practically found her. He stopped outside the room she's hidden in. He just needs to actually go in. So, and you know, find her, but she's hiding under a desk. It's not that hard to find her, but it's done. Word count, 8.9 thousand, 33 minutes to read. I'm so excited to do this next scene, but I'm gonna hold off because I really gotta be thinking about how I want this to go, because really I just know I want it to happen. Well, I think it'll be my first time writing this kind of scene, so I need to mentally prepare myself for this. But that also means there's something for you guys to look forward to next week. So this is the end of the video. I'm sorry, I left you guys off on a cliffhanger. You'll have to wait to see what happens until next week. This nonsense project will probably be popping up quite often now, just because with my cozy fantasy done, the shorts are for Something About the Sea. I need something to write in the meantime. I write a lot and I feel very like stir crazy. I go stir crazy when I can't write. So this is going to be popping up easy, no expectations. So I hope you guys have liked this week and are looking forward to next week when we get a little farther into the novel. So exciting. But okay, I will see you stars next week. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.